Mars mission. No. What?
When you've got a classic ride, you need tools you trust. Whether you drive it.
Hey, welcome back. The future of everything, the future of NASA, back into focus today with the renomination of Jared Isaacman to lead the agencies. Now, priority-wise, not much new from the private space-walking billionaire astronaut, but he did make one thing very, very clear. The clock is ticking if America wants to win the space race. Watch this.
The last time I sat before you, I introduced myself,
NASA
my
administrator
qualifications, and the
nominee.
challenges and opportunities ahead. This time, I'm here with a message of urgency. This is not the time for delay, but a time for action. Because if we fall behind, if we make a mistake, we may never catch up, and the consequences could shift the balance of power here on Earth.
So what is the plan for keeping America
He just sort of admitted that the U.S. is top power. It's gonna shift the power.
ahead? For starters, picking up where we left off. That means getting back to the moon and before China. Isaacman says he is committed to landing
China?
American astronauts first by the end of the decade. And don't automatically assume it's going to be a
Supposedly China's already on the dark side of the moon.
SpaceX rocket that takes them there. More on that in just a minute. But at the same
There's theories, conspiracy theories, that there's cities on the moon. I forgot, I can't even find the videos probably, but like, these astronauts found the city, recorded it, and then they found the body. It was
time,
weird as
he
fuck.
says we don't have to choose between the moon and Mars. We can head for the red planet alongside Artemis. We are talking bases, talking possibly a Martian colony, economy, quantum communication. It is part of his push to be the first on the red planet as well. And to get there, reusable rockets are going to have to be just the start. Isaacman wants maybe nuclear propulsion, electric and thermal.
It's gonna be fusion, not fission. Too dangerous, fission. Fusion. Which is gonna be on the rise. I just know it. It makes all sense. Everything they're mining, all the resources, the computer technology and all that shit. The computer chips. Probably needed for the fusion reactors. Just to handle the power. Or not just to handle it, I mean to like probably be so efficient with that kind of power. What's that gonna include?
Next giant leap with urgency that he is comparing now to the Manhattan Project. Let's bring in Audrey Decker. She is a space and emerging tech reporter over at Politico. Always great to see you. Welcome
You mean
back.
the fucking new?
All right, so getting straight into what he hit at the top, right? The urgency idea. He said, look, there's a lot that's changed, but he seemed very urgent. In fact, I think we have some of that. Let's take a listen. Looks like we may not have that, but when he started those remarks and you heard that sense of urgency, what went through your mind?
Right, and so he made commitments to Senator Cruz, who's the chairman of the Senate Commerce Committee who oversees NASA, that, you know, as administrator, he will make sure that the U.S. beats China back to the moon, and China plans to land around 2030, and so the clock is ticking on Artemis 3. And he also touched on the competition between SpaceX and Blue Origin to provide the lunar lander, and he said,
Kind of want to look into fusion. I already did this a while back. Fusion energy. Let's look up the energy before we look into reactors, how it's made. I already know a bit about that. You could watch Spider-Man, Doc Ock. Tritium is actual, like, not an actual element. It's a, it's naturally found in the ocean water. And tritium Deuterium is the D, and then tritium is with T. That one is like, yeah, right here. Fuse deuterium and tritium. Make helium plus neutron plus huge energy. No carbon emissions. No long-lived nuclear waste like fission. Fuel can be extracted from water and lithium. Ah, energy. The panic of U.S. too. This is how we're gonna do it. This is why the U.S. was panicking. Venezuela involves Venezuela. Energy, fuel, resources. So this is what we got going on. NASA nominee. That's one nominee. NASA wants to go to the moon and Mars. China to moon, Mars. The moon and Mars. I feel like they're gonna need fusion energy for that. It's the most smartest thing ever. Cause rocket fuel and shit, it's just pretty sure that's why we don't go. Cause of the rockets, the fuel, it's just not sufficient enough. You need the big ass fucking gallon containers that take up so much weight. The fuel itself takes up so much weight. Let's look it up. Okay, before we were entertained of that. What type of fuel are used in space rocket ships? Liquid rocket fuels, liquid oxygen, LOX, refined kerosene, very common for boosters. Liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen, extremely powerful, efficient. Liquid methane, hydraulic fluid, ignites on contact, nitrogen tetride, ion thrusters, auxiliary electric propulsion, not chemical fuel, used for satellites and deep space missions, not up, not lift off. Show types of fuels depending on mission and new engine design. But they can't return. Astronauts return in like pods and shit. Is fuel required for astronauts to get back to Earth? Yes and no. It depends on the spacecraft and where they are. Returning from low orbit Earth, space station astronauts. Yes, fuel. Some fuel is required. SpaceX Dragon, Soyuz, small engines and fuel. On dock, on a Detroit deorbit burn to fall into Earth's atmosphere. Important part, it usually takes a few minutes of engine firing, but no fuel is needed to land. Once they hit the atmosphere, gravity and air drag do most of the work. Parachutes or landing rockets help handle the final few seconds. Fuel is required. Lunar acid fuel to leave the moon. Right, they don't need fuel for the last part. Parachutes deploy this system is. Turning from the moon to. After that, the re-entry Earth's atmosphere without needing fuel. You don't need fuel for this part. Earth's atmosphere acts like a giant brake. When a spacecraft re-enters, it converts speed into heat, then parachutes deploy. So this system is fuels to slow down. Atmosphere slows more, parachutes landing. So they require fuel. How heavy is the fuel? Fuel can mean different things, but density per liter. 1 gallon weighs 6.8 pounds. What the fuck? Oh, but that's just 1 gallon they're carrying. How much do they carry? Which depends on which spacecraft. Falcon 9 rocket fuel. RP-1 kerosene. 2,407. 200,000 and 40 247,000 pounds. Liquid oxygen. Fucking insane. 620,000 pounds. 866,000 pounds total. Crew Dragon capsule fuel for maneuvers return 2,600 pounds. This is for return. I'm assuming this is for liftoff. Getting into space. That's insane. NASA Space Shuttle retired. Okay, this is a good reference too. What? Liquid hydrogen, 234,000 pounds. Liquid oxygen, 1,385,000 pounds. A total of 1.6 million pounds of liquid propellant. That's insane. Solid rocket boosters. Eco carried or solid fuel. Retired. Space Shuttle. Okay, Apollo Saturn 4 or 5 moon missions. Kerosene 2 million kg. I don't know how much that is. 6.27 million pounds. Stage 1, 2, and 3. That's total stages. Oh my gosh. Hypergolic fuel. Service module fuel. This is another part of the ship that requires fuel too. 39,600. used for lunar orbit, course corrections, and Earth return. So they have two sets of fuel for getting to space and flying around and shit. Getting to the destination wherever they need to go. And then return mission fuel. SpaceX Starship future crewed missions. Approximate full tank. 1 million kg, 3 million kg, 4.6 million kg, or in pounds, 10 million pounds. Star users more fuel than Saturn. This is excellent. Okay. Crew to ISS. So we're looking at like millions of pounds of fuel. This isn't even space exploration. Is this space exploration? Yes, everything's been talking about is part of space exploration. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm accurate. Okay, space exploration. Current required fuel. This is pretty insane. Let's look at the chart. NASA nominee wants to go to the moon. Wants to beat China going to the moon and Mars. Space exploration. And I'm assuming colonization eventually. So we got space exploration. Current required fuel needed 1 million plus pounds for space exploration. Space exploration. Current required fuel needed 1 million plus pounds. That's extremely heavy. That's extremely dangerous. There's already examples of the dangers. Where there's a crew, it's dangerous. That much fuel is dangerous. There was an accident. I forgot what it was called. Like there was an entire space crew and like some teacher, volunteer teacher, and it blew up, and that shit was so crazy. So this shit is just unreliable fuel. Kerosene, liquid hydrogen, all this other shit. We move on to the red marker. 1 million plus pounds. That's an issue right now. Now we get into pa- um we get into fusion energy. Fusion energy. This could be what they need to get to space. All right. Let's go back up to fusion energy now. What is fusion energy? Fuse deuterium and tritium. Make helium plus a neutron plus huge energy. No carbon emissions. No long-lived nuclear waste. Unlike fission. Fuel can be extracted from water and lithium. Big, big word. Fuel extracted water and lithium. No carbon emissions. Okay. Fuse deuterium and tritium. Deuterium? Tritium. No carbon emissions. No carbon emissions. No long-lived nuclear waste. No long-lived waste. And then extracted from water and lithium. Tritium is from lithium. Deuterium's from water. Okay. Let me change this. Okay. Lithium. All right. How well does that look? What we got going on? Extracted fusion energy. It's the fusing of deuterium and tritium. No carbon emissions, no long-lasting nuclear waste. Extracted from water, which is deuterium, ocean water, deuterium, and lithium, tritium. Tritium is extracted from lithium. Deuterium is extracted from ocean water, specifically ocean water. Fusion energy. Before I look at it, let's test myself. The reactors. I can recall two types of fusion reactors. The first type being lasers, and it's in like a giant ball with mirrors and like lasers shooting at it. And the second's the donut shaped, which we're about to see. Tomax, donut shaped magnetic bottles. Example, ITA. Stellarators, twisted magnetics, the magnets, laser. Forgot about the magnet ones. Net energy gain, what everyone talks about. Also called Q1. Q greater than 1 means getting more energy out of fusion reaction than you put into the fuel. NIF hit a Q1 condition using lasers, magnetic fusion devices that have very close. When will fusion be practical? Most experts and companies project early 2030s and 40s, which is when China said they're going to go to space. Most experts. Fully commercial 20 and 50. Early projects 20 and 40s. That's pretty mind blowing. By 30s, 40s. Early test. First grid connected. So by the 30s and 40s, the first grid test of fusion energy will be into production. By the 40s and 50s, it'll be commercial. This is when we get into this one, this final part. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. Which include lithium. The test chat. Let's see if it's true if I put the prompt in. Yes, there is a real recent agreement between Mina Minatosharma and Japan were more broadly the United States to cooperate on seabed resources, rare earth, critical mineral exploration and development. Here's a summary of what's true as of 2025 and what remains uncertain. Japan and the US signed a framework agreement in late 2025 to ensure critical minerals and rare earth elements, including cooperation of mining and processing. Under the agreement, one target is seabed mud deposits near the island in Japan. Deep sea deposits believed to certain rare earth rich mud What remains uncertain? The seabed deposits, which believed to hold rare earth rich mud, and then technically exchanging environment to. I thought it was lithium for batteries. What? Let's go to the White House. It was on the WhiteHouse.gov. Am I tripping? I think it's fact sheets. It was October? Action to lower costs and expand access to introverts. Continued accountability. Where is it? I know it's here. Oh, this is September. What is this? Richard Rivers Markets. Fertilizer. This is another deal with them. September. Where's October? I'm tripping. Let's go to 4. Where is it? Jeez. God. Come on. Probably missed it. I did. Come on, it has to be in here. What? Fact sheet. Here it is. Is this it? Previous industrial base. Agreement with Japan secured historic purchase of U.S. energy independent U.S. Japan Corporation. Drug trafficking. He's been using drug trafficking for resources as a cover up for getting resources. Other community critical energy infrastructure in the United States, including construction of modular reactors. What is this? Large advanced pressurized water reactor. Rely on gravity, natural circulation, compressed gas. Supply large amount of infrastructure, energy, engineering. Gas turbines. To electrical power. AI infrastructure, electronics, and supply chain investments, up to 15 billion to produce advanced electronic components, including multi-layer ceramic capacitors, inductors, interference, suppression filters, systems, and electronic device. Critical mineral investments, up to 3 billion to construct an copper smelting foundry. Here's the U.S. exports. Supply chain. American Tokyo Gas and your. Oh shit. Coal sales. Advancements in technology. AI adaptation.